Number 8.
Clerk, just a moment. I will allow 15 minutes of intervention on the 3 statements that have been read out. I will start with Senator Sifuna Edwin.
If we go to the next page.
Thank you, Speaker. Allow me to welcome you back. And since the delegation from Lesotho is still here, I want them to pass my regards to the former Prime Minister, Moketsi Majoro, who's my personal friend and was the head of delegation for the observer mission for the Somaliland election. Tell him his friend from Nairobi says hi. Honorable Speaker, I wanted to comment on the statement that has been brought by the Senator for Narok, the Honorable Edama Olekina, regarding the status of the farmers in Narok who are currently looking at or staring at very serious losses, Honorable Speaker, that we have undertaken as a country, or we at least pretend to undertake, that we will take care of our farmers, Honorable Speaker. And when we do something on one side, we seem to take with equal measure on the other side. We as the sugarcane farmers and the newly minted chair of agriculture, the Senator for Bungoma will tell you, have complained for a very long time, Honorable Speaker, that for as long as you allow a wanton importation of sugar, you are hurting the local farmer in the sugarcane growing areas. You can see that the same is the situation, Honorable Speaker, now with wheat. I am quite surprised that Kenya would subscribe to such a situation where, Honorable Speaker, we have farmers in Narok whose crop is literally rotting in their stores, and yet we have allowed importation of sugar to this extent, Honorable Speaker. If you look at this legal notice that the Senator has brought, this is a copy of the East African Community Gazette, Honorable Speaker. And there is a legal notice here that has been signed by the Honorable Deng Alor Kwol, who was the chairperson Council of Ministers for the East African Community, Honorable Speaker. And is allowing, I think it's a total of how many? 3 million tons of wheat, Honorable Speaker. This is unacceptable. When we speak about these issues, Honorable Speaker, some people say, oh, we don't like certain individuals in certain offices. The Cabinet Secretary for Finance or Treasury is a former chairperson of ODM. Honorable Speaker, the ODM party, through the acting party leader, the Honorable Anyang' Nyong'o, issued a statement on this same issue about 2 weeks ago. And if he was a good man, he would have listened then. It wouldn't take the Senator for Narok to bring this matter before this House again, before it is resolved. So, Honorable Speaker, I want to stand with the Senator for Narok. I want to stand with the farmers in Narok. We must give priority to our own people when they are trying to get themselves out of the economic mess. You cannot have our own farmers produce rotting, and yet we are allowing importation of the same commodity which we have in plenty here. So this committee, Honorable Speaker, must have both the Cabinet Secretary responsible for agriculture and the Cabinet Secretary responsible for Treasury or Finance to appear before it and make sure that we put an end to this and we get explanations. And I'm also getting tired, Honorable Speaker, of explanations, because those farmers in Narok don't want an explanation. They want to be put in the right place in terms of compensation for what it is they have lost after putting their sweat in their land and, Honorable Speaker, being let down by their own government. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Senator for Nandi, let's speak for 3 minutes to allow as many to speak.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Sir, mine is just a quick, Mr. Speaker, maize farmers we have been demonstrating for long. I thought the wheat farmers are better off, but it looks like whenever maize farmers speak, you must support us because we are in the same pot. In the cereals, Mr. Speaker, cereals we must agree. As we are suffering, we didn't get the correct pricing in maize of 4,000 shillings, Mr. Speaker. And the sad reality of maize is that we sell at 90 kilos, while wheat is being sold at 50 kilos. I stand with the wheat farmers in Narok. I know they caused a lot of jam yesterday. I was worried for our colleagues, Ledama, but I'm happy he managed to pull through. Mr. Speaker, we must stop. I think Kenya National Trading Corporation, KNTC, must be called out. And AFA, who authorized importation of sugar, rice, maize, yet we are harvesting season, Mr. Speaker. This gazette notice must be degazetted by the Ministry of Treasury. And we expected Mbadi to do better, Mr. Speaker, by revoking most of those gazette notices. And it is good that Sifuna is here. He should advise him accordingly, Mr. Speaker. When we're having harvesting season, if it maize, If it anything, Mr. Speaker, we must stop importation. And finally, Mr. Speaker, while at it, the food security is a threat because we get subsidized fertilizer at 2,500. Mr. Speaker, at the moment, the seeds that we are supposed to go back to plant in this season is very high. And therefore, we want to ask the new chairman of Agriculture, Wakoli, who has taken over, Mr. Speaker, to review, because how can you buy 2 kilos of seeds that at 700 shillings, Mr. Speaker? How many Kenyans can afford that? So we need to review so that we can protect our food security. I wish the wheat farmers all the